Lesson 8, List Views. In this lesson, we will be covering about list views, using list views, and editing and creating list views. List views. List views are lists of records that appear for each of our different object tabs. We can create and edit list views to have meaningful, filtered lists of information, which are quick and easy to access. List views also allow us to manage and edit records. Using list views. Firstly, to access list views, we first need to click onto one of our object tabs. In this example, let's select to click onto the Applications tab. When we first come to this page, at the top of the page we can see there is a field called View, which has some drop-down options and a Go button. The drop-down options contain all of the different list views that we are able to view for this object. To view the current list of all applications, let's click on the Go button. We can now see that a list of applications, in fact all of our applications, is now showing with some particular fields of information which we can see by scrolling across to the left. At the bottom of this page we can also see the number of records in our list, as well as how many are being displayed on this page. Here we can see that we are viewing records 1 to 16 of a total of 16 records. If we click onto the arrow next to this record count, we have the option to change the number of records being displayed on the page from anywhere between 10 and 200 records. Let's change this to show 10 records per page. Now, because we have more records than are displaying on one page, we can also navigate between pages using the next and previous buttons. Let's move back to our first page. When we look at this list, we can see that it is being sorted by the application's name, because the records are being sorted in alphabetical order. And if we look at the application name field header, we can see that the arrow in this field header confirms that it is being sorted by this field. If we click on this header again, it will sort them in reverse order. We can sort our list by any field simply by clicking on the field header. For example, if we wanted to sort the records by amount with the highest amount at the top of the list, we would click on the amount field twice. The first click sorts it ascending order and the second sorts it in descending order. We may also decide that we want to change the order of the columns that are being displayed in our list, which we can do simply by clicking on the column header and dragging it to the desired location. For example, let's move the application stage column to sit beside the amount column. To do this, we select the stage column header and drag it to where we want it to appear. We can also edit and delete records from our list views simply by using this edit and delete links beside the records, as well as being able to follow and unfollow records in Chatter. These options apply to individual records only, but it is also possible to update bulk records in your list views using the selection boxes at the start of the list. You can select all records by clicking at the top of the list, or you can select individual records. Once you have selected records, you can then update fields in bulk by double-clicking into the field you would like to change. Note that only some fields can be edited this way. In this case, let's change the expected settlement date for all of these records. Once we've entered in our new field value, we can select to apply the changes to all of the selected records here before saving. Once you have made changes to your list, you may need to use the refresh icon that appears at the top of the list in order to remove records that no longer meet the list criteria. Editing and creating list views. You may decide that you would like to change what fields of information display in a list view, edit its filters, or rename the list, which you can do using the edit link next to the view at the top of the list. In this example, let's say we would like to add the application submitted and settlement dates to our list. To do this, we can click on the edit link next to the list view. Now, in the Step 3 section, we can select which fields we would like to add to the view. Here we can select the fields and move them across, and we can even rearrange the order of the fields using the arrows. Now we can save our list and see that the fields have been applied to the list where we positioned them. Let's look at another list view that we have for our applications. There is a list here that is called 1. This list shows us all applications which are considered to be 1, and to us this means that they are at a settled stage. So let's rename the list so it makes more sense to us. To do this, we can click on the edit link again and simply rename the list. Apart from editing existing lists, we can also create new lists. For example, we may decide that we'd like a list to show us all of our open home loan applications. We can do this by clicking on the Create New View link. Now we can give our list a name . And apply filters to our list. In this case, we want to show all applications where the stage is not equal to settled, declined, or withdrawn, so that we're only looking at open applications, and where the product category equals home loan. Now we can select which fields we would like to display in our list. And at the bottom we can choose to share this list with other users or to keep it for ourselves. Let's apply this list to all users. We can now see that we have 2 applications which are open applications for home loans. We can also delete any of our list views by selecting the view and then clicking on the delete link.